Okay, everybody, I just figured we could all benefit from just another few examples of experimental design. So in this, we're going to focus on identifying constants, identifying controls, and also writing a testable and specific hypothesis, because that's what makes a good hypothesis a good hypothesis. So I was in my kitchen, and I don't know if your coffee maker's like mine, but my coffee maker was stinky. So that's my problem. I want to find ways to make my coffee maker less stinky. So under normal circumstances, what I normally do is I clean it with a mixture of water plus vinegar. And it's about 50-50 mix of that. What I want to try is I read on the internet that a mixture of lemon juice and water would be beneficial because of the citric acid, 50-50 of that. And then I went to the store and I purchased one that's some sort of cleaner that you add water to. And again, it's about 50-50 cleaner to water. So those are the groups that I'm going to test. And so I'm going to test these. Oh, you know, I clean my coffee maker once per month, and I'm just going to smell it, and I'm going to rate the stink from 0 to 10. Okay, so my first group that I have right here, that's like the normal method, that is my positive control. That is what I'm comparing it to, because I know that this kind of works. It's just not great. I know it's going to give me some decrease in stinkiness, because what we're measuring is a decrease in stinkiness on a scale of 1 to 10. So that's my positive control. It's what I've normally done before. Here, what I've got going on here are some things that I want to try. My pen is messing up. 1 second. So groups 2 and 3 over here, this one and this one, I'm just going to draw circles because my pen's acting crazy. Those ones are going to be what I'm testing, and anything I'm testing is going to be an experimental group. So in this case, I don't know if this is going to work. I saw it in the store and I read it online. Oops. So I hope that it works, but we're going to see. We're going to take this and compare it to my positive control to see if there's improvement, or to see if it's the same, or see if this is actually stinkier than before. I don't really like it. I don't know what the outcome's going to be, so those are my experimental groups or my experimental controls. The other group that I could possibly do, because we notice that all of these have water, 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 and water in all of these groups. I can have a negative control that's water only. Okay, so a negative control, it's not going to have any sort of cleaner in it. It's just going to be water only. Because what if it's the water that's actually doing the cleaning and not these other things? And so I'm also going to compare that to the positive control. So this should have like no change in odor. And if we see a change in odor, we got questions. Okay, so now that I kind of got my controls settled, let's talk about my constants. So my constants are going to be what's kept the same. And I'm going to keep the same coffee that I normally use. I'm not going to change my coffee routine. I'm going to keep the same coffee pot. And I'm going to keep like the same volume of the cleaners. Because what if you just add a lot more volume and that actually does the cleaning? So same volume of the cleaners in each of these cases. So those are things that could affect the outcome. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping them all the same. So I'm really only changing one variable at a time, that variable being what I'm cleaning it with. Okay, so last up in this, let's talk about a testable and specific hypothesis. We got to be measurable and it's got to make a stand. So the way that I do my testable and specific hypothesis for this is I think that blank will happen because blank, right? Okay, so that's one format you can use, but I like the if then because format. So if this happens, then this will be the result because it gives you some option for explanation. So if this happens, no, if I do this, sorry, one sec. Then result will go here because then you have your explanation there. So this is how you can be testable and specific, because your result should be what you're specifically measuring. And here's where we're going to make our stand. Okay, so I think, because I have several experimental groups here, I think if lemon juice is used to clean the coffee pot, then the coffee pot stinkiness will decrease. I'm just going to use an arrow to show the decrease, because lemon juice, maybe I think it neutralizes odor. From the basic coffee, maybe something like that. Coffee's a little acidic, I don't really know. But that's the general format. This is how you can write a specific testable hypothesis. So just going over really quick. Constants are going to be what we keep the same. The different groups that we're using to test, those are our different controls. And in this one we had a positive experimental group and then also a negative control. And I hope that this has been a little bit helpful in your experimental design. Best of luck.